is nerd news. Here we go. The DC had a pretty big week, and it's kind of came in ebbs and flows, almost like a lot of news, and then it dies down a lot of news. So I'm just going to run through like the timeline of this news a little bit. So earlier this week, we had a Hollywood Reporter article come out basically saying Wonder Woman 3 is done. Black Adam's not going to happen. Man of Steel 2 is now up in the air. Who knows if this will happen? Jason Momoa, after the second Aquaman, The Lost World, I believe it's called, is done. He's possibly going to be playing Lobo. The breath of fresh air, the light at the end of the tunnel, the Batman universe is safe. Because of this article, there's been a lot of thank you, George. Because of this article, there has been a lot of there's been a lot of like things coming after that. So James basically replied in the most James Gunn way in history of saying some of it's true, some of it's not, and some of it is undecided. So thank you, James Gunn, for that. But after this article, it was also some Michael Keaton Batman Beyond movie that was in works, officially canceled. It was possibly going to bring back Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. It was revealed that Patty Jenkins was actually asked to rewrite the Wonder Woman 3 movie. It possibly didn't fit in the way that James Gunn and Peter Safran. She didn't even pitch it to them two. She pitched it to like other execs. I don't know who. They're unimportant execs. But she declined and basically sent them an email with a link to a long-winded email, I guess. And then at the very end, she had Wikipedia linked character arc to it, which that's just funny to me. I guess Stephen Knight had apparently written a treatment for Man of Steel. Development has been promptly stopped, though. And then also it was revealed that Walter Hamada had a plan to bring Henry Cavill back as Superman to build up for Crisis on Infinite Earths. But then The Rock kind of shut that down after he got Superman back for Black Adam tease. And now, so basically nothing seems like it's set in stone at this point. There are a lot of movies that are about to come out, say like Aquaman 2, Blue Beetle, The Flash, Shazam 2. All of those could be just the last we see of these characters. Tyler, I know you're pumped for this, so we'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like all good things to me. I was kind of worried when he took it over how it was going to work, because it's obviously like big movie franchises and big machines like this. You can't just take over and start from scratch, because there's so much already in the works, like stuff's being written, stuff's being produced, stuff's in post-production. So I was wondering how it would all work. I'm happy they're scrapping everything. Like at this point, it just needs to be done. Like get rid of all the characters, bring in new characters. But there's a lot they could go from here. Like I think this is all good stuff. And I don't know. I posted it on Twitter, and a lot of people are mad about this, but I think it's just because you're worried about the Batman universe. Like there's no reason DC should have a separate universe for Batman and DCU. And the only reason people say they should be separate is just because, don't want it to bring down the Batman. The Batman has so much to explore. But from like a franchise standpoint, like there should not be two Batmans. That is just idiotic for a franchise to do. I love the Batman universe, and I want that to be fleshed out to its own thing. But either the Batman's its own thing, there should not be two Batmans. Either it's his own thing and the Justice League goes on without Batman, or you merge the two. I think it's dumb to have them separate. Cam, the only reason you're saying that is because you want more Batman content. You don't want them merged.
That's not true. No, okay, maybe it is because I do want more content. I think George agrees with this. I don't want to see Robert Pattinson with the Justice League. That doesn't mean, though, I don't want to see Batman with the Justice League. And I'm totally fine with both, because I will also say I think I don't watch as much as George, but I know George watches a lot of animated movies. If you just watch those as well, there's always multiple Batmans and multiple Justice Leagues going on. I don't think that like really affects me. I just don't want to see this Robert Pattinson interact because I honestly, I don't have an answer. I just don't think his Batman is like a Justice League Batman.
It's because he's an early Batman.
From a neutral standpoint, I don't either. I'd rather.
I agree with that last point, Cam. I don't think Robert Pattinson's Batman fits a Justice League. Yeah. And I know it's a year two Batman, so he has room to grow and develop into that Justice League Batman. But the Batman is significantly more grounded than I think the direction the DCU is headed, especially if they're headed towards Crisis on Infinite Earths. Robert Pattinson's Batman will not mesh well.
Do you not think that would like to? Sorry, George, carry on.
No, you're good. No, go.
I was just gonna say, do you not think that would like if they mesh the two? Do you not think that would turn away a lot of the population like myself, who's really interested in the Batman universe but doesn't really care about the Justice League and stuff like that, just because it's not in my interests? I personally feel like that will turn a lot of people away from enjoying it as much, because it won't be that similar thing.
I just think if you add Robert Pattinson's Batman into the DCU, I think that's just going to turn out to be a ton of wasted potential because I don't think that Matt Reeves would have a lot of creative control. As
There's so much more to explore within
has.
just that. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's already established that this is a very grounded retelling of Batman's story. He has a plan. He's going to carry that plan out. I don't think tossing a Superman into Matt Reeves' Batman universe is an absolute necessity.
What I will say to that, or to just this point in general, I don't want two Batman movies going on, I guess. So I don't want I just want Batman to be in the Justice League. You know, like if they make a Justice League movie, I want it to have Batman, but I don't want them to make a Batman movie in this DCU universe.
So you don't want it to be Robert Pattinson, you want it to be a different person, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. But do you see what I'm saying? I don't want two Batman movies. I want the Robert Pattinson's universe, and then in the DCU, they can do a Justice League where they have Batman in it. Kind of where they were at, honestly. But I don't want where they were at.
Obviously, I don't follow this very well, so this might be a stupid question, but why aren't they just sticking with the Ben Affleck Batman in the Justice League? Like, what's the point of all this? I don't really understand it. I don't get it.
They want a clean slate. They want to...
But why? Like,
they have so much baggage with these characters. They have so much baggage.
This is what I don't get. Like, Tyler, you said, like, you can't start from scratch because there's so much in production. There's so many scripts being written. But, like, how is James Gunn and the DCU going to make this decision to scrap Gal Gadot, Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, what's his name, Ray Fisher, Jason Momoa? How are they going to scrap these characters that have established this universe, carry on with the movies that are already in production, and then recast these characters?
That'll just be confusing.
In the exact same universe.
Right. That's why I feel like they should.
It's also, sorry, one more thing. It's also just hysterical for like the Henry Cavill news. Henry Cavill, he's essentially been outed as Superman for the last 10 years. You know, Walter Amada made like very blatant efforts to make sure Henry Cavill did not come back as Superman. Henry Cavill comes back as Superman. There's rumors of Man of Steel 2. He drops The Witcher because of assuming it's because of Superman. And now this bombshell news is coming out that we may never see Henry Cavill in Superman again or Man of Steel 2.
Do you think that's realistic? Because after how much they built this up, do you actually think that would happen? That they get rid of Henry Cavill as Superman?
I mean, at this point, I'm like done with the deal.
So,
like, we need to just scrap these are. And I'm speaking from someone who absolutely loves these comics and these graphic novels. We need to take better care of these characters. These are some of the most iconic fictional characters ever created, not only in the comic book superhero space. Stop jerking around and fucking this up. Start from scratch. There's so much potential with these characters. This is the DCU. This is DC characters being brought to film. Say all you want about Marvel, but like they know what's going on. They know what's going on. They know what they're doing. They have a plan. They've executed that plan, whether we like it or not. DC has nothing, and it is such wasted potential, and it's such a goddamn shame.
Yeah, I mean, so kind of going back on that. So for me, I think still Robert Pattinson's a year 2 Batman. I think the way the DCU is going to be set up, like I don't want to see a Justice League movie before like 2027, 2028 at this point. And by the time Superman gets made and all these recastings happen and all these origin stories are done, the Batman trilogy will be done. Like that whole universe will be done by the time these origin stories are all coming out. So I feel like by then having Robert Pattinson be an experienced Batman, ready to go onto the Justice League, like the Matt Reeves universe, I truly think will be done by the time we're even ready for a Justice League movie. So that's why.
When do you think the third Batman will actually come out by then?
2025, probably.
Really?
I heard the second's not going to come out till 2024.
Yeah, but they're doing those in parallel now. They had to wait for the first one to get success, and then they got greenlit for a trilogy.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
it's the same thing with Dune.
I don't know if we've seen like other than Avengers Infinity War then Endgame. I don't know the last time we've seen like a back-to-back year like
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, okay. Well, I said last time, so
sorry, I just had to get in there.
Thank you. I see what you're saying. I don't think it'll be that earlier. I'll give you 2026.
What I don't get, going to George's point, like how they have so many movies still coming out, like I feel like they should just delay The Flash again. Who the fuck cares at this point? And just have that after all the ones they already have confirmed coming out, and just reset the universe after. Like, why do you have The Flash come out before Aquaman? Like, delay The Flash, Have it after Aquaman.
Dude.
Fucking end the Flash movie, resetting everything, and then it starts from scratch.
It goes back to what George said, and just everything's fucked up. Like, Peter Safran and James Gunn were handed, like, here's shit, make me a picture. You know, like so it's not on them. And what I'll say to the point of how can you recast Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, the important characters, but still keep, say, like a Shazam, you know? I don't know if they will, or maybe they'll rewrite Blue Beetle to be like in its own thing, and then they'll bring him in, whatever. How can you like recast them but keep it? I think they have too much baggage to where if, like, I don't think James Gunn and Peter Safran want for the next 20 years, 10 years, we'll say, while they're making their universe for Restore the Snyderverse to even be mentioned once. And I think it's just, George, you fall into this my least favorite Twitter, and it's the Restore the Snyderverse Twitter. Shut up.
Okay, but can I say one thing? Are you going to sit here and tell me that Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, and Zack Snyder's Justice League isn't a decently coherent trilogy?
No, I'm not. I'm not going to say it's not. It is a coherent trilogy. I'll give you that.
Okay. I didn't know where he was going with that.
I'm saying I'm not gonna argue with you.
Like,
it's
everyone
so goddamn annoying.
Listen,
over it.
I'm fine being annoying. I'm just saying everyone can hate on Zack Snyder as much as they want. He is the only one in DC that has been able to understand these characters, that has actually genuinely given these characters character arcs through 3 movies. He's the only one that kept me invested into the DCU.
I agree. I'm not arguing with any of this, but it's done.
I know it's done.
It's been done forever.
You know what I say to that? You know what I say to that? Restore the Snyderverse. Yeah, of course you do, man. And it's worse that and HBO Max fucked themselves by giving us the Snyder cut, because now it's never gonna go away.
Was that not a theatrical release?
No, it was HBO Max.
I didn't know that.
He's thinking forward to the draft.
Yeah. But now they've put bait on the line, and they've reeled it out, and they pull you in a little bit, and it'll never get pulled in again. And because they've pulled you in a little bit, you'll be on that hook forever.
Listen, they could have ended Zack Snyder's Justice League after like the part 6 of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then not given us that nightmare sequence, and I think
everyone a better movie.
Shut the fuck up. I think everyone would have not batted an eye. They would have said, "Okay, that's the Snyder cut. Thank you for releasing it. I appreciate it." But then they gave us the nightmare scene, and everyone's like, "Well, fuck me." Like,
remember when Joker said the Society meme?
Remember when Doctor Strange said, "Let's Scooby Doo this crap"?
Remember when they said, "What are those?" in Black Panther?
My last thought on this is Peter Safran and James Gunn inherited. They're the new coach of a franchise. They inherited a failing program, and then everyone's like, "Wait, you're not going to keep the same players and make it work?" Like, no, they're going to come in and say, "We're going to change the culture. You're change everything.
Rebuild.
You're bringing us in to change the whole direction and culture of your universe, because your universe has been shit. It's not making money. Shut up, Dwayne Johnson. Your movie did not make money. Stop trying to act like..." He's like, "Oh, actually, I cooked the books and we made couple..."
It made $50 million.
Yeah, you didn't make money. Just stop acting like just because they're coming over taking a failed team, it's like, wait, whoa, you're changing stuff now? Like, you're not gonna just like do everything but with your style on it? Like, no, I think they should scrap it, put in their guys, get their directors, people they trust, people they know. And what, isn't it like this upcoming week they have to present their official presentation to Warner Brothers? So I'm excited to see what that entails. I don't know how public that presentation is going to be, but is it like a legit thing, or is it more like an internal executive meeting?
I think it's internal.
It'll probably be internal.
It'll probably be a while till we know what's going on. Yeah. I think it'll be like after what's the last one that's confirmed, like not including Blue Beetle, because they can still maybe make that their own thing. But I think Shazam 2, no, Aquaman 2, right? I don't know.
Both are 2.
Both.
Yeah, whichever one is last, I think maybe we'll know more about it after that one. And
what is funny is, like, this is the first time on Twitter I've ever seen someone tweeting at James Gunn, like the same thing that I always see athletes get tweeted at, where they're like, athletes all the time would just be like tweeting normal stuff about their day, and people would be like, "Why are you tweeting? You should be practicing." Like, James Gunn would be tweeting, people would be like, "Hey James, I think you should be spending this time planning the DC universe and get off Twitter." It's like, shut the fuck up. Like,
I did see like a fake tweet that was like his wife got cast as Wonder Woman. That would just, or his fiance. That would just be very funny. Very.
Can I say one more thing? We can move on after if we want. Who the fuck does Patty Jenkins think she is? She made one of the worst superhero movies of all time, and now she thinks she has the audacity to like walk away because she didn't want to rewrite the script for Wonder Woman 3.
I don't know. I thought that was kind of funny. It's kind of
I mean,
It was
it's
Patty
kind of a-
Jenkins.
kind of a fuck you. I don't want to be here.
yeah.
anymore.
She directed the 2 Wonder Woman movies. The second one being legitimately one of the worst films I've ever seen.
Oh,
God, that's a high praise. That's like bad on you if you haven't seen anything worse than that. I said.
I mean,
that's a Cam thing to say.
listen, we
I mean,
can't
I
all
have it.
be
I have it
you.
at a 2 out of 5 or whatever, like a 40 out of 100. But there's a lot worse.
You've
movies
seen like
out
1,000 films.
Yeah, it doesn't-
worse than that.
doesn't matter. All I'll say to it is, like I said, they got handed shit, and I think it's good that they're trying. You know, at the very least,
I respect that they're trying.
yeah,
I
at the
just-
very least, they're not just like, you know, just gonna go with the motions of what DC's been, and I hope they make a change for the better. We'll see in 10 years if that's true or not.
They need to commit. They haven't commit to either starting from scratch and recasting everyone or continuing with what we have and trying to salvage.
I
They
agree.
need to commit to one of those paths.
I think they're committing to in the middle, unfortunately. Also, the Hollywood Reporter said, like, technically it was true when Mark Hamill, sorry. God, what's his fucking name? Superman. God, we talked
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill.
Jesus.
Mark Hamill, Henry
Said
Cavill.
Mark Hamill.
Yeah, Mark Hamill, Henry Cavill, I don't know. Whatever. They were like, it wasn't wrong when he said he was coming back as Superman, but now that they've hired James Gunn and Peter Safran, it is, I guess. So that's unfortunate for him because I think he truly believed he was coming back, and maybe he is. We'll see. Maybe it won't be a Man of Steel 2. They can like sign him back up to just like do their own universe. The fun thing about both Marvel and DC, you don't have to be in this fucking universe. Just after the Flash, throw a post-credit scene in. Hey, this universe, we're going to a different one, and we're going to be here forever now. Like, it doesn't matter. There's infinite, literally the title of their comics, Infinite Earths. Do that. Doesn't matter. But we'll move on.